Friends, welcome to my workplace for hands-on Phaco and SICS training. Let us observe this totally unedited phacoemulsification surgery. We can see this is a white cataract, but is it an intumescent cataract or a non-intumescent cataract? I think it is a non-intumescent cataract because I cannot see any fluid pockets, and the whiteness appears homogeneous. And if after making a puncture on the anterior capsule, if there is no ingress of oily or milky fluid, it means there is no high intralenticular pressure and the cataract is not intumescent. So by this time we have made the incisions and we have stained the capsule with trypan blue dye. Excess dye is washed out using a Simcoe cannula. And now the anterior chamber is filled up with 2% hydroxypropyl methyl cellulose. And now is the time to do the Capsulorhexis. I take the utreta forceps, make a puncture at the center of the capsule, and I find no egress of oily fluid. So I proceed with an adequate sized rhexis. And in this case, the rhexis is quite large. It is about 5.75 millimeter. And now a little bit of hydrodissection is to be done because I have not aspirated any cortex. I have not rotated the nucleus, but I can make out that the nucleus will rotate easily. Keeping in mind that it can be a mature posterior cataract, I didn't rotate the nucleus much. So let me proceed with direct job. The phaco tip is introduced with its bevel down, some superficial cortical lens matter is aspirated. And now the handpiece is turned. The bevel is up towards the cornea, and I am planning direct. This is submarine job, yes. I come to the other side, make an scalped, hold on heminucleus, and separate the two heminuclei completely. One heminucleus is then subdivided into two large fragments. A free nuclear pie is emulsified. Now I come to the other heminucleus, divide it into two large fragments, and one fragment is emulsified. If necessary, we can divide the fragment into smaller pieces. So we have managed the nucleus safely. Posterior capsule is intact. The little bit of SPMC is used. This is to maintain the anterior chamber when I am using the main incision for aspiration of cortical matter. The main incision can be used for aspirating. We just have to lift the anterior wall of the main wound for keeping a balance between irrigation and aspiration. I've used the Simcoe cannula for removal of cortex. And now is the time to implant an intraocular lens. A hydrophilic acrylic single-piece monofocal intraocular lens is being implanted, keeping the antechamber formed by irrigating BSS. Just by a push of the irrigating cannula, the trailing haptic is placed in the bag. A dialad, that is a Sinskey hook, is not required to place the lens in the bag. So we manage with less number of instruments, less manipulations, less time, and less loss of endothelial cells, and having a very clear cornea next day. A final lavage of the anterior chamber. The antechamber is nicely formed and the case is concluded. Before we conclude the case, we must check the integrity of the wounds and be sure there is no leakage. Thank you very much for your attention. Hope this video will help you in developing your surgical skills. So in non-intumescent cataracts, we can plan a rhexis at on-go without doing a small rhexis and without aspirating the cortex. So if the cataract is white, it doesn't mean it is intumescent. Intumescent means the intralenticular pressure will be high, and when we make a puncture at the center of the capsule, anterior capsule, some egress of oily fluid or milky fluid happens, and then it is having high intralenticular pressure. It didn't happen in this case, and we did rhexis at on-go. Thank you very much for your attention.